Hey guys, welcome to another episode of our 5 mil budget Demon Hunter. And in this video we're going to cover how to clear keep depths 1, 2, and 3. And of course we're going to cover the how by actually doing it. So if anyone has any trouble with keep depths 1, 2, or 3, definitely check this video out because I'm going to be clearing through it with our 5 mil budget Demon Hunter. So just to kind of give you guys an idea on what my gears are like, I'm going to hover over my gears quickly just to prove that I'm not cheating. And I obtained these gears with 4.2 mil gold total, and I did that in the first episode of the Demon Hunter guide on how to gear your Demon Hunter for cheap. Of course you can do this with a lower budget, just lower the stats a little and you're more than fine. But I decided that 5 mil is a very good number just for the purpose of having decent survivability as well. We can go total glass cannon mode, but that's not really what we want. We kind of want to survive as well, and I would much rather prefer to survive than just get one-shotted by any single random mob. So that's the rationale behind this. Just to kind of reiterate what we have here, we have 41k DPS, 36.5% crit, 200 crit hit damage, and 300 physical resist. So, and our armor is over 3k, which is typically something that you'd want to try to aim for. So those are our stats, those are our gears, and let's move on with the quest. So I'm going to start off with keep depths 1, of course. So I'm actually starting this quest from scratch. It's the third quest, and we are going to move up until Ghom. So I have a very detailed video on how to kill Ghom from start to finish, what skill build you need to use. So if you're stuck on Ghom, this is not the video to check it out for, but I'm going to put the video in the description of this video, so hopefully you guys can check that out too if you have troubles with Ghom. This place is really mobby, and to take care of these range guys, I just pop a shadow power, and you're pretty much fine. You can take quite a bit of hits with it on, and you don't really need to worry too much about dodging the bullets from the skeletons, just because your shadow power is going to heal you. So let me just check out where we need to go. Okay, so we need to go in this direction. So I'm going to try my best to keep this video below 20 minutes. We do have 3 levels to clear, so that's I guess that's quite long. Maybe not, who knows. It depends on our luck a lot, but we'll see how this goes. Alright, so now we're at this Olympics here. We can't die on this. So we gotta watch out for the fires. I'm just going to smoke screen through. Have to be very careful here. What I typically do for this area is I just wait for the first fire and then I smoke screen through the second and third. And that's pretty much it. So the worst scenario possible is that there's an elite on this other side of the door, and there isn't, luckily for us. So got off pretty lucky there. The worst thing would be if I get a soul lasher here and have to run back into that fire. Oh my god. So I definitely want to avoid that. I want to avoid this fire, so I don't want to risk dying on video, which would be really too bad, but that's the way it is. So in this level, you can hit 4 possible elites, I think, and it's one of these guys. What are they called? Demon Troopers. You could hit a Soul Ripper elite, you could hit a Bowman, or you can hit these Quills. So we actually have a Soul Ripper here, and he is Molten, Nightmarish, Plague. Okay, so we have to be very careful, and we have to avoid that fire. I definitely don't want to hit the fire, so I'm going to use this room only. Unfortunately, there's Plague and Molten all over the place, but I think we're able to manage with this guy, so I'm going to try my best. And of course, a big part of this is your movement. If you don't mess up your movement, you're very well on your way of doing well. So we kind of kited this guy, and we were very careful not to die. And luckily for us, we didn't die. So we cleared a Soul Ripper in a fairly tight space, I would say. The only space we really had was this room, and we kind of moved around here a little bit, and we got ourselves our first elite kill. So a lot of people are kind of troubled on how to kill the Soul Rippers, and that's exactly it. The key idea here is Frost Arrow, and if we didn't use Frost Arrow, many Demon Hunters would just say, okay, I like Ball Lightning because it hits a target twice, but if you used Ball Lightning, those Soul Rippers would chase you down so fast, like, you would just die. I don't know, even if you were in Shadow Power, all 3 Soul Rippers would kind of be hitting you, and instead of kind of slowing one and keeping one at the front while the other 2 are behind, and that's what Frost Arrow does for you, with Ball Lightning they would all just chase you down so quickly, so you have to be very careful about that. And Soul Rippers are ranged as well, so it's not like, let's say you wanted to Caltrop, and you can Caltrop them, that's fine, but you can still get hit by their tongue thing, right? So their tongue thing is kind of the reason why you want to use Shadow Power. I used some smoke screens there just to get out of a couple of tight situations. I'm sure you can tell what the tight situations are just by rewinding back a minute, but you gotta really be careful on when to decide whether you should smoke screen or whether you should Shadow Power. And when you're, as a general rule of thumb, if you're kiting safely backwards, definitely use Shadow Power. If you're switching directions or something like that, then smoke screen is definitely the way to go for that. You don't want to switch directions when you're using Shadow Power. Another thing is that if you're constantly shooting, then Shadow Power is also the way to go, because Shadow Power gives you 20% lifesteal, right? And if you're always shooting, you're always gaining your life back. So if you don't plan to shoot, then that's a situation where you want to use smokescreen, right? And of course it makes sense, because you'd be just taking damage for free and not gaining it back, right? And that's kind of a general rule of thumb on what you do in different situations. Of course, when an elite with Molten kind of goes ahead of you here, it's kind of better to use smokescreen in that situation. I'm kind of avoiding damage here. I don't really need to, I can just skip a little.
That was just a taste.
But I kind of want to try to avoid playing careless in this video, so... Oh, there you go. So, we're at level 2. Unfortunately, we didn't hit more elites. I think if we were to explore this area, and maybe this area, we would probably hit more elites, but I think we killed a Soul Asher, and I think that's good enough of a demo for this level, so let's just go to Keep Depths 2. So now we need to find the breach. Keep Depths 3 is the shortest level, but one thing you want to watch out in Keep Depths 2 is the Suiciders, and if you don't know their name, I think they're called Fallen Maniacs or something like that, and they kind of hurt, so, well, not kind of hurt, they're actually going to one-shot you, so, and there they are. So these guys, you want to be extra careful when dealing with these guys. Fortunately, they have low health, so you can just one-shot them. These guys are also something you need to be very careful about, because the winged guys hurt a lot. Moloch, or whatever they're called, so should watch out for that. It doesn't tell us where we need to go, so I'm just going to pick a direction. Good thing this is a dead end sooner than later, so it saves some video time here. Of course this is going to be trapped, Asmodan's fail traps, but whatever. We're going to have to deal with this. I would really like to avoid... Oh, no trap. What do you know? These skull cleavers, they're going to one-hit KO you. You need about... With my current setup... let me just show you guys quickly. With my current setup, 3.3k armor and 300 physical resist, you're going to need about 40k HP to not get one-shotted by the cleavers, so... of course, if you use a shadow power, you'll never get one-shotted, but that's not the point here. The point is just like to know, to have a pretty good idea just based on raw HP. So these guys are reflect damage, and I heard some people having troubles with Quill Beast, so let's do this guy. One thing I didn't mention is, of course, you need to always have your bat up. The bat is really important for this build. As you can see already, I'm low on frost arrows, and even though I have the bat, so you have to be very careful. For this Quill Beast, what you want to do is you want to avoid melee range because his melee kind of hurts a lot, and you just want to keep shadow power up, and you'll definitely have more than enough to kill the guy. So, of course, he's reflect, so shadow power also helps you deal with reflect. Smoke screen, you do not have enough smoke screens with this DPS to actually to actually survive long enough to kill him in time. So shadow power lasts perfectly long enough for you to be able to kill him. So I had to pop a pot there. I don't really know what hit me, so that's kind of strange, but I'm going to be kiting him kind of as carefully as I could, and hopefully we don't run out of shadow powers. So if I run out of shadow powers at any point, you can just go back up here and you kind of wait like 5 seconds to regain your health, and that's exactly what I'm going to take advantage of. I realize you don't have the luxury of doing that all the time, so I guess you kind of have to improvise sometimes. And in this case, we had our door to help us here. So one thing you can certainly take advantage of, because they were teleporters, I can't just stand at a door and shoot, because they'll just teleport behind me, and it's going to hurt a lot. So one strategy that I do recommend against Soul Lashers is to stand at a door. And if you stand at a door, only one of them is going to hit you, maybe two. So that's one way you can definitely reduce your damage taken from them. So we're sitting at 2 stacks, but we're kind of half health, so I want to use Shadow Power to kind of get full health. Oh, we got a goblin. Sweet. So the direction you shoot the goblin from kind of dictates which direction he's going to go. So I'm kind of going to just stand still here, and he's going to stay in this direction. So hopefully we can kill this guy in time. Sweet. Unfortunately, we got a level 53 shield, which sucks. That's kind of too bad. So we got this bad brace. We got a guru staff, so this one is 63. Let's just see what this is. It sucks. Oh well. So moving on here, I saw some suiciders on the other direction, so I'm not going to break that door until I deal with this guy. This guy hurts a lot. He's really strong, so you have to definitely watch out for him. If you end up hitting a demonic tremor boss, I would really recommend that you skip it, and you could try to kill him. I don't know how kiteable he is, just because on my main Demon Hunter I kind of do a lot of damage, and I don't really feel this as much. So if I do encounter a what do you call it? A boss. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Still waiting.
Okay, so this is what you want to watch out for. When you turn, this only happens in keep depths too. So when you make a turn around a corner, you might get like 3 suiciders coming in your face. So kind of have to watch out for that one. Taking it kind of slow against this guy. I don't want to get hit. I believe he is strong enough to one-shot us if we don't have Shadow Power on, so you don't want to take the gamble, so I'm not going to take the gamble. There's some quills shooting at us from below. They're trying to shoot through the walls, but they're too dumb for that, to just break down the door. Unlike the demonic guy, I forgot his name already. So we're looking for the breach. Where's the breach? Level 3 is fairly short, so that's kind of a good thing we got going for us, but I would really not want to waste that much recording time just killing regular mobs, because I'm sure you guys know how to kill regular mobs. There's really no problem about killing regular mobs. I imagine most people who are watching this are having some trouble with elites, so hopefully encounter some elites. Notice that if I just strafe through the here, oh man, I actually have to kill this mob, sorry. Unfortunately we can't skip this mob. They kind of hurt as well, and I definitely don't want to die, so in the best interest of having a clean run, I'm gonna try to avoid dying here. So I could have ran through there, but that would have been a bit risky, so I don't recommend doing this unless you have kind of more HP. Also, if you just use the Shadow Power and ran through it, that would have been a lot more safer, but that's okay, I guess. So unfortunately, you have to kill through these guys. The cleavers have a lot of HP. Oh, there's a cleaver elite, so this guy's also whoa, okay, so I didn't see that he was Vortex, so Vortex, Reflect, Damage, and Fire Chain, so Vortex Fire Chain combo is definitely something you wanna watch out for. This guy's also Reflect, so we got another example on how to deal with Reflect elites, so unfortunately this guy kind of caught us off guard really badly, so maybe we can kind of take revenge on him. So I don't think I came through this way, but I guess it's faster to just clear this area instead of walking through. So I'm gonna wait up a little bit for my discipline to regen, just because we're dealing with a Skull Cleaver elite, and what you want to do for Skull Cleaver elites is, you want to have as much discipline as possible, especially because this guy's Reflect, so we can't kind of fully kite him. And whoa, okay, so I used the Shadow Power and a what do you call this, and a smoke screen, so we're gonna have to abuse this guy's AI a little bit. And the AI abuse here is pretty much you have to stay out of distance, so we're going to take advantage of the space that we have against this guy, because I cleared out quite a bit of space. If you don't have as much space as I do, then one thing is that if he vortexes you, you just want to smoke screen immediately, and the timing for that is when you're in mid-air. So if you're in mid-air, that's a great time to smoke screen. Oh, I kind of wasted one there. I didn't expect that. So we killed one guy. I don't know how many there's left. There's 2 left. But we killed another guy. Did we? Not yet. Jeez, this guy has so much health. So I used the smoke screen there just to switch directions. And this is kind of one thing that I wanted to mention, that if you want to switch directions, just use a smoke screen and you'll be more than fine. So you see when he raised his hand up there, that's when he's going to cast something, and typically when he raises his hand like that, that means he's going to vortex you in, so be prepared for what do you call that, for a vortex. So that's one thing you want to watch out for. Every single elite, as far as I know, has an animation when they're about to cast something, and they do that animation. So you can use that animation kind of as like a cue for either your smoke screens or for whatever they're about to cast. So that's one thing to watch out for. Keep in mind that elites have their own animation. Notice that Frost Arrow is kind of saving us a lot. Oh, I think I mentioned this already. Some pros and cons of Frost Arrow and Ball of Lightning. So Cluster Arrow is really hard to use single single player. The reason for that is, of course, because your targets are not standing still. There are pretty good Caltrop combinations that you can use with Cluster Arrow, but the problem with Caltrops is if you have a really fast elite, it's not a very reliable slow. So that's just my opinion on it. I guess many people will have an opinion on this one. I know Caltrops is really popular, but in my opinion, I think Shadow Power will save us much more than Caltrops will save us. So that's kind of the main reason why I'm using Shadow Power, as well as on my main Demon Hunter gears as well. So unfortunately, there's a lot of mobs here, so I kind of have to clean it. Especially with the Suiciders, we can't run back into a mob when we're trying to clear Suiciders, so we're going to check out this area first. One thing that you want to have a habit of doing is you want to always move and shoot. You never want to stand still and shoot, because there's so much more potential of just anything random hitting you. So you can definitely avoid a lot of damage if you just move and shoot. Just like that little arrow that you saw flying by there. I wasn't even paying attention to that arrow and I dodged it, right? And the only reason that I dodged it is because I'm completely used to moving and shooting, right? And that arrow there too, so that's one habit that you definitely want to develop as you play your Demon Hunter. And it's also a very useful habit to have, so I don't know if this is going to lead to the breach. Hopefully it is, but it looks like it's not, because it feels like it's connected with this upper area here. And that's kind of unfortunate, so oh my god. So one thing about Keep Depths is that it's so mobby. It's mobbed with really weak monsters, but unfortunately, if you're kind of low HP and low DPS, you kind of have to kill them, or else it's gonna be hard to kite through elites. So good thing we got a Frenzy Shrine, so for the guys who like attack speed, if you want 25% extra attack speed, it only gives you 8k DPS, which is kind of bad. So this direction will lead towards the entrance, so we want to go in this direction downwards. I really hope we don't reach a dead end, because that would make this level really long. In the interest of a short video, I kind of want to avoid not only dying, but also I want to avoid I kind of forgot what I was going to say, so I'll just leave it there. Oh, I want to avoid exploring the whole map. So I want to try to skip as much as possible, but it's not working out that way, so that's a little too bad for us. But I don't want to use a pot, so I kind of opt to use Shadow Power here. I think I mentioned this earlier, but when you're low HP, as opposed to using a pot immediately, you kind of want a Shadow Power instead and regain it that way. And the main reason for that is because if an elite comes up in front of you, you're going to have a pot on cooldown, and you definitely want to have a pot available to you when you encounter an elite. So that's why I kind of use Shadow Power to heal me mid fights while I'm clearing regular mobs. So this is looking like a dead end. And I'm getting really annoyed that this is a dead end. So of course I made it this far, so I might as well check if this is actually a dead end and wow. So it's a dead end, so I'm not gonna bother killing those quills there, so this is definitely the right way to go, so I'm working against myself because I have to explore the whole map, so that's kind of unfortunate. I expect most people who are doing this are not going to be exploring the whole map, but it is the way it is, so we have some downtime while we walk across this map. Well, only 30 seconds, so it's not that bad, but I would much rather like to run through these guys, so I'm going to try to do that. This is where I start dying, so it's too dangerous, so I'm just going to smoke screen back. Oh man, I can't smoke screen back, so okay, so I made a dangerous situation for myself here. This was not even necessary, so I would guess I'm gonna camp here. So one thing about this demonic tremor is he always drops a health globe, so that's kind of good. I'll not bother with that gold. I kind of wish I did, but nah, whatever. It's like 300 gold or something. Okay, so I used the smoke screen there just because things were coming at me and from two directions, so I kind of want to avoid taking hits as much as possible because a lot of things hurt in this area except for, well, actually the only things that hurt are the suiciders, these skull cleavers. These guys don't hurt that much, and demonic tremors hurt a lot, so definitely don't want to be taking hits from demonic tremors, and that's all. Whoa, okay, so I smoke screen there just because I turned a corner and he almost killed me, so you definitely want to watch out for these guys. I was about to take a hit there, so I just smoke screened. I guess I should have shadow powered, but it's
Not enough
a
discipline.
bad decision on my part. So these guys die fairly quick, but they have a lot of HP, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think this level is by far the longest level of all three. The third level is fairly short, and we haven't hit an elite in a long time, which really sucks. I get a big purpose of this video is to show you guys how to handle these elites. So we went over 2 reflect elites as well as one what? It's a dead end? Oh my god. So unfortunately I wish I had a barb skill, sprint. This would make this run so much easier and quicker. But I'm not a barb, so we're just gonna have to run through this. So I'm getting a little impatient, and I'm tempted to just run through these mobs, but the last thing I want to do is kind of get caught off guard and die, so I'm going to be patient and careful until the very end, so let's see how things work out. So sorry for the clicking. I'm not sure if people hear the clicking or not. I'm trying my best to damn this guy. Not frapping, what the hell. So anyways, I'm going to try my best to clear this level as quickly as possible, and I say that, but we kind of explored the whole map, and we hit 2 elites in this area, so that's about average. 2 to 4 elites per area is typically what you get. It's been about 9 minutes since our last elite, so that's quite a while. Hopefully this video can be less than 30 minutes. I'm not too sure on how we're doing time-wise, but you know what? I'm just going to upload this as it is, because a keep depths clear is a keep depths clear, so unfortunately it's kind of longer than I really would have liked, but come on, breach. Okay, I'm gonna run through this. This is a marathon now, so I can't run through that. This is the reason why I avoid keep depths 2 when I'm farming. Just because of these guys. I typically run through mobs on my main Demon Hunter gears with Shadow Power, but I can't do that here just because of the Suiciders, so I just skip this level entirely. Of course, if you're a whirlwind barb, which is kind of... Oh, there's an elite, so... Alright, sweet. So these guys are fairly easy, but they reflect damage, so we kind of have to be careful when we're dealing with them. There's a skull cleaver here, so I don't want to get hit. So these guys are also molten, so you kind of want to be kiting backwards. Oh, they're vortex, so that's good to know. I actually didn't know about vortex, so definitely getting vortexed into molten is not something you want. I can take the hit there fairly comfortably just because of shadow power. So I think even without shadow power we can handle this guy very well. It's just vortexes like that you need to watch out for. So I'm going to look for a health globe. If you keep running around, one little tip against this guy is that he will never be able to hit you unless he vortexes you. So that's one thing you can do. I'm going to save... nah, I won't save a smoke screen. I'll just shadow power and...
I require aid.
Okay, so that was one hit without without shadow power. So he takes about 3/4 of our health or so. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's also something you want. Actually, not 3/4. It was about half. So you still want to watch out for that. Don't be careless. If you're careful, you can certainly kill this guy without many problems. So also, if you keep your distance, you notice he kind of raised his hand there. That was him trying to vortex us, right? But since we kept our distance, he couldn't do anything to us at all. So there is a distance on vortex as well. Okay, so this should actually be close to the breach, so hopefully we can kind of edge through here. We're at 4 stacks, so that's okay. We killed 4 elites along the way, so that's not as good as I would like it to be, but 4 elites is not bad, considering we also have keep depths 3 left. 4 elites is certainly not too bad at all. So that's about averaging 2 levels per elite, with well, 2 elites per level, that is, and that's about average. I expect to kill 2 elites per level anyways, so 3 is a very good number, but we didn't have the luxury for this video to encounter 3 elites, unfortunately. Tons of skull cleavers. You really cannot run through this. If you ran through this, it would be risky, and you would need to use smokescreen in this case. So this would be a scenario where if you wanted to skip these guys completely, you can just use smokescreen. So that's all for skipping mobs. So this looks like the breach. Okay, so I'm gonna make a run through. Yes, we hit level 3. Sweet. So level 3, I believe there's skull cleavers, tremors, and bowmen. So here's a skull cleaver already. Waller, health link, fire chains, molten. So okay, so we're on a really tight space, so I'm going to smoke screen through and die. So okay, so I guess some people have troubles on how to deal with tight spaces, so this is what we're going to do. So we spawned there, we died at the beginning, and we're going to save this guy for about, for now I guess. We have a pretty big room, it's fairly clear. And this is the reason why you want slows, because do you see him catching up to me? That's the reason why you want to frost arrow, right? And I really wish this demonic tremor wasn't here, but I want to avoid the same... Whoa, 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 whoa.
That would not be wise.
Okay, so this is looking bad, so I'm gonna... Oh man, so I got sniped there. I kind of got cornered. So you want... You want to have space, right? And wallers really mess up tight spaces. So I'm going to... Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's with this? Okay, so anyways. So I'm going to smokescreen out of this situation. So shadow power to gain some health back, just in case. I'm going to avoid that tight space where I died twice, and I'm just going to kite him in a circle, right? Notice if I didn't use frost arrows, he would be much faster, and we would not be able to kite him in a circle like this. So, in this case, caltrops is also perfectly reasonable. No big problems with this guy once you're set up and you start kiting, right? One thing that some people kind of have a problem with is wallers. Some people say that they get trapped in walls, so whoa. What happened there? Okay, so we got kind of owned by rubber banding. If you don't know what rubber banding is, when you try to kite an elite, sometimes you kind of stay in one spot and you're stuck in one spot. So that's kind of what rubber banding is. At least to my knowledge, I don't really know. I'm not too good with the terms here, but so you definitely want to watch out for that. And we're on our 5 stack and we're kind of full in inventory, so let's just clear that. So from my experience, this leads to a dead end. Anytime you have a map split into 3, this is a dead end. So hopefully I'm not wrong, and from my experience, I believe so it's not going to show us where it is. So we're going to have to find it ourselves. Frenzied, yes. So this is going to help us clear a lot faster. So hopefully we can. Oh, since I have more attack speed now, I want to show you guys something. So notice when I'm kiting, when I kite like this, if I have more attack speed, I'm actually covering less distance when I'm kiting. So when I have more attack speed, that means when I'm kiting, I'm moving backwards slower. And that's really important for kiting, and that's really important when you pick your bow. Because if you expect to kite a lot, then you can certainly pick a two-handed crossbow. Just because the attack speed on one hand and two-hand crossbows is too high, and when you end up stutter stepping like this, the interval of time between your stutter steps is very short, which also means that you're covering much less distance, and a lot of the time taken when you're stutter stepping is actually devoted into your shooting animation, which means you're kind of spending time and you're not covering enough distance. So when you're kiting elites, one thing you want to do is you want to sorry, someone walked in the door. One thing you want to do is you want to try to move backwards as quickly as possible. So these guys are bowmen. Some people had trouble with bowmen, but you should not have troubles with bowmen. I'm kind of cheating here because I have a frenzy shrine. But that's okay. The method is the same. One thing you want to do is you just want to move left and right really quickly. So when you're shooting like this, you want to do it this way, right? And if you're able to do it this way, then I guarantee you will never take a hit from any ranged elite. So what is this? This sucks. So that's just one little tip out there for ranged elites. If you want to avoid getting hit, just keep strafing back and forth, and that's going to help you a lot. You definitely want to avoid getting hit from these trappers, no doubt about that. So that was a dead end. Wow, so we're not that lucky with our path here, unfortunately, but what can I do there? Some bad decisions there. So remember at the beginning I was like, yeah, this is not where you need to go. Well, this is where you need to go. Okay, so sorry for that brief little silence. I had to mute my mic for a second. So we continue clearing mobs. This is the boring part of the run, clearing mobs. We want to encounter more elites, but the good part about this run is that we are on 5 stacks, and we died twice to the skull cleavers, but honestly I think our two deaths were a bit unnecessary, just because we kind of got cornered and we made a poor decision of going into a corner against a waller. So that's definitely a bad idea. So hopefully you guys learn from my experience here is that you should definitely avoid tight spaces against wallers. But I mean, that's common sense. I'm sure most people knew that already. Except me, because I died there. Sorry. Anyways. Moving on with our run here. I think this should actually be close to the Ghom room, so because I think our video is a bit long, and I think I saw some shielding guys here, so frozen, shielding, teleport, knockback. So these guys are really not that bad. It's a skeleton champion. One thing you want to watch out is for the frozen. You have to be very careful in tight spaces, and you have to be very careful with frozen on the other side of walls. So like sometimes you might not see them, just like well, not there, but you want to smoke screen in this scenario. You definitely don't want to be frozen with shadow power on, so just a little tip on dealing with frozen: do not use shadow power, just smoke screen out of there. And one thing, if you guys didn't know already, but I expect most people might have known this, but if you do end up caught being frozen, whoa, that guy almost took about 3/4 of our health, so that's how much damage you can take. So you definitely want to be at full health when you're fighting these guys. But if you use shadow power, you're going to be at full health anyways. Just definitely avoid this frozen. You kind of want to have a feel for how long the frozens last. So I think, don't quote me on this, but it seems like it's about 5 seconds, so I'm going to make it as 5 seconds. We get a nice quiver. I really don't want to deal with loot here, so the purpose of this run is just to show you guys how to get to Ghom, and while killing elites on our way. So no deaths in Keep 3, no deaths in Keep 1, and we died twice to a skull lever in Keep 2. So this is actually approaching the Ghom room, so I guess for completeness I'll kill these guys too. Actually no, I'll just smoke screen through. So if you guys are skipping mobs, this is what you want to do. Actually, there's not much mobs to skip here, so unfortunately I couldn't show you guys. Maybe I'll do a demo on skipping mobs, but we're at level 3, so just for a little bit left. Okay, I'll just kill this guy. So that's it. We're at Ghom. So in the link description, I'm going to link you guys to a video on Ghom. I kind of go over a strategy, but we're a bit short on time in this video, so for that reason I'm going to leave it for a separate video alone. And we're at Ghom, so I hope you guys enjoy this video, and good luck on killing Ghom. Good luck going through Keep Depths 3, and see you guys another time. So take care. See ya.